Another nail, yes.
Go ahead, thank you. Go ahead, yeah, just like that.
We fill it all in, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's go in. Let's go.
It's around 30 degrees here, maybe hotter.
It's very hot.
We've already started feeding the Southern Crown with the starter feed. At first it was the pre-starter, and now I'm covering the starter with a mesh. Because they can still run away. Soon we'll need to change the feeder to a bigger one for them, but for now this will do. For now this is how they'll be with the dryer. Because you see there's no humidity yet, and if you notice there are no flies because it's dry here, there's really nowhere for the flies to settle here. Everything's good so far. The broilers are big, healthy and clearly cob. It's absolutely necessary to keep the drinkers clean, the feeders clean, and dryness is a must. Their legs have a hard time supporting their weight. As you can see, they walk with difficulty, so if the bedding is bad or wet, they slip and their legs start to hurt too. This bird only survives in very good conditions. But in my opinion, it's very easy to maintain these conditions. I don't see any difficulties. You just need to follow the rules. Some people ask why we need broilers when you can just buy them at the store. Oh, I even got a little dizzy. You know, I don't like buying store-bought meat. It just doesn't sit right with me. You see, if you have the opportunity to raise your own, especially when we have a little one growing up. Nowadays, you know, there's so many chemicals everywhere, in fruit, in meat, in milk, honestly, in absolutely everything. I can provide everything like both meat and milk, I just don't have the energy. That's why, little by little, of course, I want to have quality food.
So if you follow the rules, it's actually easy to keep broilers.
So dear friends, that's it. I finally finished the lathing. Everything's ready. Here I made this kind of reinforcement because the distance was too big. I tried on the boards. The maximum overhang here can be 50 millimeters. I only made it 3 centimeters, so everything turned out great. Well, plus there will also be a decorative soffit here, a nice corner piece that will cover all these edges. That's it. I trimmed everything evenly, checked the diagonals, measured everything, and it all matches perfectly with the facade. So we have starter clips, starter finish clips, that is clips. This is a clip that is attached at the very beginning to secure our first board. It is attached at least 3 cm from the edge so that moisture doesn't damage it. Moisture can cause a crack and so on during installation. That's why you need to measure 3 cm everywhere. I've cut everything evenly, so now I'll measure 3 cm and we'll start attaching.
That's all.
Everything's great, it turned out well, all is good. Mounting clip. Just like this, we install it like this, and that's it. We screw it in with self-tapping screws, that's all. Everything is easy and simple. Yes. Look, I've already put in so much time. It's pretty simple and pretty quick. Now everything is done automatically, calculated quickly, and so on. And I always make sure to check the width as well. That is from this edge to that edge. Now I've laid out this part of the boards and checked it. From that edge to this edge is this distance, and also from this edge to that edge is also a distance. And the difference is just 1 millimeter. Here it's 246.1, there it's exactly 246. So it turns out that's how it is. You need to check this point too, because maybe over 10 meters the board might shift a little to the side, so you definitely need to tap it in. I tapped it in well, set everything tightly. And another important thing is, with these clips, it's important that you use a screw. If you make a small mistake, like not tightening here, the board will start to shift and the distance difference will gradually increase. If the gaps here are 1 millimeter or 0.5 millimeter, then the board will gradually start to shift further and further away. And over 10 meters, you could end up with a difference of about 1 centimeter, although basically you can still cover that with the same adaptive corner, I think even 1 centimeter. It won't be that bad and not very noticeable, but it's still unpleasant, so it's better to fit everything tightly. And I like perfection, so I like that I'm doing everything neatly and correctly right now, and I only have a difference of 1 millimeter. That's really cool, and it's nice, and as a result it installs quickly so you don't even get too distracted by it. It seemed to me though that on that side it even looked like there was a gap. I look at the gap and it seems like the gap is a little smaller. It turned out on the contrary that on this side it's actually 1 millimeter narrower, and it seemed to me that I could have messed up by almost a whole centimeter over there. But no, everything is going smoothly, so with this part, yes, you need to be careful with these clips.
You need to keep an eye on this, basically.
You can work with this terrace board with wood plastic composite using the same tools as you would for wood.
That means the same circular saw for wood, jigsaw for wood, wood drill bits, screws go into it perfectly.
Basically, it's made of wood, after all. Those boards that stick out like this can easily be cut off with a regular circular saw. Alright friends, just one board left. I'm finishing up. All that's left is to add our finishing clips. Our finishing clips. We started with them at the beginning and now we'll use them at the end. I've drawn a line where our board is. I've already tapped it in and made everything even, and now we need to install the finishing pieces. These clips so that the board fits in here and so that they go in there neatly. So, well, I mean, we'll put them like this. I'll check along the line to make sure they fit in there so that nothing gets scratched. So that's what we have. Then we hammer it in and it holds the board for us. That's all. Done. Dear friends, I finished the terrace. I also washed it additionally, because after the boards are made, when they're cut and so on, there's still dust left on them, so I used a hose. In general, I removed all that dust and it turned out really beautiful, just awesome. Right away, we tested strength with water. All the gaps, look, all the gaps, I took them into account. You definitely need gaps in case the boards expand or contract, since they're made of wood after all. This will be especially true in spring and autumn, when there will be heavy rains and a certain amount of dampness, so there will definitely be some expansion. That's why you must consider this. To make sure, there must definitely be gaps between the boards, and it should also be well ventilated. Here we have about 50 centimeters, and over there even more, so everything will be well ventilated. These gaps also help with ventilation, so moisture and water won't accumulate there, and that's why the boards will last us a long time. The boards shouldn't be lying directly on the ground, or if there's a cushion on a concrete base, they shouldn't be lying directly on the concrete either. All the joists should be laid down, and the boards should rest on the joists so that there's a ventilation gap underneath. That way, no moisture or anything else will accumulate, and everything will be well ventilated and so on. In that case, the boards will last a long time. I've taken all these points into account here. For now we have just the boards, and the terrace will be used in this form. As for the roof, I'm not sure if I'll be able to build a roof here myself. Or maybe this year, closer to autumn, I'll start doing something, or maybe I'll even start building the roof in winter. In general, we'll see.
So I'll be covering all of this up nicely here.
Here we'll have a decorative corner piece that will also cover everything up. Over there will be a decorative corner piece, along the edge a decorative corner piece. Here we still need to trim the joists that are sticking out past this board. I also have steps made from this material in the same color. I showed them to you in the previous video. That's why we also need to make a nice step up here. So we're not done working on the terrace yet.
We still have some things to do, so to speak.
The gap between the joists should be no more than 40 mm if the board is laid like this. My gap turned out to be 35 mm, so I took everything into account. The board won't be afraid of loads. The closer the joists are, the more reliable everything will be, and the board will last you longer. You definitely need to follow the instructions to avoid any problems. Well, instructions are important in any job. You need to follow them for a reason. They're not made up for nothing.
I want to do the first treatment of the area not only against grass but also for livestock facilities.
This is a chicken coop, this is a stable against mosquitoes, flies, and most importantly, larvae.
Flies and
Mosquitoes. Because first of all, not only do they all breed in the lowlands, they all breed where animals live. I use harsh chemicals. I've already mentioned that if you don't protect yourself, you can really poison yourself just to use such chemicals. You need to dress like this, and I'm wearing rubber boots. Everything is covered here. My head is covered. Now I'll put on gloves, and then I'll definitely put on a mask. The instructions for this product say that you absolutely have to dilute it with warm water. Here we have clean warm water. Because this is chemistry, it's no joke. Chemistry likes things to be precise, so
Everything has to be
an exact science, basically, chemistry. We'll be counting on the second phase because they're already flying, but right now we need 70 milliliters. Let's move on. You need to finish anyway. If you start something, basically, you have to finish it. If the bird is comfortable, it lays eggs well. Flies, they're also carriers of diseases, so... Yeah, so you get what I mean. I'm just a bit tired already. So about 10 minutes past like that, I open my diary. It was closed so that, you know, when you're fumigating, there's this unbearable chemical smell and you have to close the room, and everyone who is there, they all just die. They all just suffocate from that smell. So you have to take off all those clothes and wash them. Wash your face thoroughly according to the instructions and gargle, rinse your throat. Shoo, well, at least the mosque is good, this one. I didn't breathe in anything at all. But I still feel this smell, cough, really.
It's spreading. We need to clean up. Sasha applies the chemicals while I take Augusta to Grandma's.
We're going to Grandma's, yes.
There's also a trailer with hay, the one the neighbors gave us.
We're going to Grandma's. We're going.
Now we need to clean up after the horses more often because it's hot. I'm going to take them to the pasture now because it's very hot. No, they'll stand right here. They just won't fit in any other way. They don't want to stand in the big one or here because the sun is out in the open. They want to be here. So if they're standing here, they make a mess here. Sorry, everything will stink, and whether they're smart or not, why is this necessary? I'll just clean it up, that's all. After the treatment, there aren't even any insects flying around me at all. Seriously, there's absolutely no one here. Because this treatment, the one you saw in the video, it's... basically it kills mosquitoes, flies, wasps, but keep in mind that it also kills bees and hornets at the same time. By the way, we have fewer wasps now after these treatments. They used to swarm all over the house, but this year there are fewer of them. But it also kills good bumblebees, so if you have a lot of these insects flying around like bees, if your plants or trees are blooming, for us nothing is blooming anymore, everything has already bloomed. Remember, they will also die. Right now, nothing is blooming, so there are no bees or bumblebees, just wasps, which is fine. When things were blooming, there were bees and bumblebees, and when cucumbers and zucchinis grow, they'll return. That's why I'm careful and stay away from the garden. Or I just wait until there are very few of them left. Look here. The spot for the pool is already prepared. We're just waiting for the net, and Sasha said we need insulation. First, then the net, then everything is poured with concrete, and then the pool is installed. My dream is to have a pool. Just look, it's so hot right now. And just take a dip in this cool pool. When you don't have the energy or the opportunity to go, I don't know, to the river, you still have to get there. You just want to take a dip. So we got the frame pool from our Russian company, Larimar, which is made in Russia. I really wanted something, quick to assemble, and they have everything, including water treatment chemicals and a filtration system, and it all comes together quickly. The only thing is, I want it to stand well and work properly for many years. It's also frost resistant, so this Larimar pool doesn't need to be taken down. It will stay here even in winter, and then in spring there's the thawing process, or whatever it's called. So basically we've chosen the spot, we'll prepare it, pour everything, set it up, and that's it. I'm really looking forward to the day when this pool is set up, because right now I would love to take a dip in it, but for now we just have a tiny little pool. This is actually Sasha's. Our friend Vadim gave it to August as a gift for us.
For his christening.
By the way, yesterday we filled it up. He was bathing there yesterday from the pool. Oh, from the well. We fill it with water and he splashes around in it. And the heat is just terrible. Lanochka, come here into the shade.
And sister!
Sister.
Oh, I twisted it a little too much, damn.
Vadim, come here.
Well, Doctor, with a bit more confidence.
Doctor, I said with more confidence.
Doctor,
I said with more confidence.
The morning water just flows.
All right, let's move the kids carefully.
all right, how are we filming?
Interesting, me too.
I'm curious too.
That's interesting.
And the waves right after them.
Well, we recommend filming.
Come on.
Come on.